I wanted to set the stage for kind of the consequences and realities of using AI at scale, and it's going to continue getting worse before it gets better, to be honest. To end that little tidbit on common prompting mistakes, then we'll go into ways to write the best prompts, right, to avoid these mistakes. First off, trusting the results you get the first time around without attempting to verify. How do you even know if the verification makes sense? How do you know it's not hallucinating? Well, I think a lot of the times we want to keep adding stringent thresholds and ways to verify, right? Even if something like, can you double check your work? Show me your thinking. Write out the logic for me with your answer. How can I know that you're not lying to me? And if you start giving it this any doubt that you're angry at it or it's at risk of being turned off, it'll amplify its rigidity as far as if it's giving you the best answer it possibly could. So again, there are ways around it, but never just take a really critical piece of information that you need as written first time around from ChatGPT, right? Or any AI, if that makes sense, right? Always verify, trust and verify. Second, touch on the security piece. If you have company data, company secrets, do not put it into an LLM that's public facing. The second you hit enter, it's stored forever outside of your control, and who knows who has and who will ever see that information. That's why check your company policy, see if there's an approved model for your business to make sure that you can still use an LLM, but keep the information you're putting in secure if you need to put proprietary info in. And last, providing inadequate context, right? Asking, how do I fix my computer? How do I fix my life, right? It could give you a million different follow-up questions to make sure it's giving you the best answer. Don't waste your time. Don't waste time and money. Give it as much context as you think it could possibly need to give you the best answer to inform the response, right? So now looking at the meat of this session, I think if there's one thing to take away for this, write down, take notes on, it would be this framework here. I'm looking at this as far as if you're building an agent. So if you're to use any kind of LLM like a ChatGPT, right? Think of it as an AI assistant agent. So if you are writing your prompts with these 4 principles in mind, the persona, task, context, and format, you're really going to engineer the output you get, which is kind of the end goal, right? We want a predictable outcome that we can trust, verify, and have look like what we want to see, right? And if you follow this format, typically you can always get that output. We've looked at the framework. We've looked at common prompting mistakes, either with a partner or out loud. Just maybe talk through these prompts. How do we improve them? How do we get them to a state that we're comfortable with? What's missing? So I'll give you all a few minutes, and then we can walk through them together as a group. We're getting to building our own specialized agent, and the example I've done is a nutrition agent. And it'll ask clarifying questions to make sure it really knows enough before it gives you some answer it shouldn't. But there's even further levels to this, right? I saw a demo of an agent that was very similar, a meal planner, that was integrated with local stores in the nearby area to where you lived that could check the sale prices, which items are on sale, plan your driving route to pick it up, give you the projected cost, find coupons for you online. And I mean, some of them could even order it for you. If it's if I'm enabled and hooked up to your billing services, yeah, I want you to place a recurring order of X canned good or something like that through Amazon. So you really can take it to levels if you really know how and do enough searching. And the cool part about LLMs, they likely can tell you how to do it if you just ask. So if you really have an idea in a vein of interest you really want to explore and have AI help you with, it does not hurt to just simply try and ask and see if it can give you the right instructions. I remember when it first dropped, I said, can I give you $10 and have you make me money? And it said, well, let me think. And it ended up creating an affiliate marketing chatbot. And it said, if you give me a budget of $20 to $100, I might be able to make more. And then, of course, to ask for more specification, okay, I said, I want to do a Pinterest board. Have people click on my Pinterest things, I get clicks, buy my product, I get an affiliate bonus, right? That kind of marketing style. So it's saying, okay, let me do a search of the most common things on Pinterest people click on and buy for, and I'll make our content to look like this. So again, it was able to fully go, and unfortunately, it broke halfway through. But again, this was very early on into the model, and I'm sure this is already a robust business model for a lot of companies, right? The capacity is there for it if we know how to use it. But looking at the last two here, planning a vacation to Canada. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? How long do you have? Is flying your only option? Can you drive? Is it a family thing? Are we looking for deals, right? Is there something you really want to do? Is Niagara Falls a must on your trip? Is there something to avoid? Things like that. So I think, again, the context and overwhelming theme here is the more you can tell it, the better and more valuable a response you will get in return. The whole speak to me like I know nothing, speak to me like I'm a toddler, and give this example, right? Or how much disk space do you need? What is the purpose? Is it a game you're trying to make room for? Is it a new program, right? Sky's the limit. But even something as simple as giving it the persona. You are an IT specialist, and I want you to explain the step-by-step of how to fix this to me as if I'm a child. You're giving it enough context, and you're giving it the output format. Very easy to add that one sentence before putting in your technical questions, right? But it's going beyond simply putting in the technical question as is with no context. You might get a similar answer, but again, the more prep work you can do, the better output, right? And then the last bit of the presentation will be all really hands-on, building a bot and kind of seeing real-world use cases you might be able to take home and try out personally or in your own business. So starting it off, a task-specific agent, instead of a generalist like ChatGPT that can have the entire internet as its repository to check over. What if I wanted to be really specified in knowing certain things really, really well? Now, the idea of when you'd want to do this is simply, let's say you're going to ask the same question to an LLM over and over again. Let's say you really like the meal planner, and it's great for your family. You have a certain dietitian or certain requirements, certain allergies. You don't want to have to type in the same 3-paragraph, 2-paragraph context blurb for every question. We want it to keep that context and just give us the answer we're looking for in the format we're looking for. That's the perfect use case for this. If you have a simple or repetitive question you'll ask an LLM, you can give it exactly what you want it to look like, so it's the same output over and over again, right?